Developing tomorrow's workforce today. That's the phrase you hear a lot with Eastern Indiana Works. Hi, I'm Eric Marsh, Executive Director of Whitewater Community Television in Richmond, Indiana, and host of Eastern Indiana Works. We're going to see how some of that development takes shape when we talk about our veterans. We're at the Tom Raper Center on the Wayne County Fairgrounds in Richmond, Indiana, where they're having a Veterans Resource Fair. Let's go inside and talk to some of the media partners, some veterans, and some employers looking for employees. We're at the Tom Raper Center where the Veterans Resource Fair is going on. We're speaking with Stephen Clark, sales manager of ESPN Radio, 1490 WKBV and 100.9,
yes, sir.
And G1013.
Yes,
and
sir.
you all have been involved with this event for how long now?
We've been a part of this now for about 4 or 5 years as a media partner. We were attending the event for the first couple of years just as a regular vendor, and then we saw the need to spread the word and try to get as many veterans as possible. So that's when we jumped on board as a media sponsor.
Talk about what made you all decide the transition was necessary and why it was important for you all to even be here as a vendor to start with.
Well, I have veterans in my family, so I thought it was very important for this event to be here. There's a lot of resources, a lot of good things for the veterans, and I just noticed that the turnout wasn't quite what I expected. The number of people coming through the door attending the event. There's close to 14,000 plus veterans between Fayette, Randolph, and Wayne counties, and we weren't even seeing a fraction of them coming to this event. So we thought it was important to get involved, to get the word out, not just through the radio stations, but we've been working with other local businesses, getting flyers created, posters, and getting that information up in various locations where there's a lot of natural traffic flow for customers. So just trying to get as much involvement as we can from the community to support the guys who have done so much for this country.
The booths that are resources are one thing, but bringing employers and employees and potential employees together,
yes,
I think has been an important part of this.
Yep.
Are you still seeing growth and interest from the employer side?
We are. Actually, this year we have over 30 potential business partners at the event that are employers looking for employees, which is the highest number we've had, and it continues to grow, and we continue to see employers reach out and have questions and want to be a part of it because they are looking at that sector for potential employees. These are great guys that have a disciplined work ethic, and they're very reliable. So they come with a sense of training and a sense of purpose, and they're just looking for something to fulfill some of their time and obligations.
As you all have stepped into the larger media partner role, how has it been working with Eastern Indiana Works?
It's been really good. They're a great group to work with. We've got a local contact here that helps coordinate the event, so I meet with him on a regular basis, semi-weekly. And then the upper management and the folks from out of town have been really great and accessible. We've been able to get some live interviews scheduled on several of our stations with those folks. So they've been great to work with, and they support this event and what's going on and what we're doing to try to make it a bigger, better event.
Stephen, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
and thank
absolutely.
you for helping sponsor this.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome back to Eastern Indiana Works. We're in the Tom Raper Center, and we're talking with Brianna Kern. How are you today?
Good, thank you so much.
First of all, you're a veteran, so thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And tell us what part of the service you were in.
So I was in the Army. My MOS or job was cryptologic linguist, which sounds fancier than it is.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You're out of the service now. What have you been doing?
I was a stay-at-home mom, and then I went to school, and now I'm a massage therapist. So I've been doing that for about 3 years now.
You've kind of connected with Brian at Eastern Indiana Works. What is it that you connected with him for? How did you connect with him?
So I called my Veterans Affairs office locally, and I asked, is there anybody that helps with job placement? And they gave me Brian's number, and Brian has been phenomenal. I actually have not gotten the chance, I just today met him in person. But he's answered every phone call, every email. He the big thing he really helped me with was translating my massage therapy skills into admin skills. Because I was like, how is this going to make me suitable for admin? I don't think I'm qualified. And he was like, no, this is what you're going to put. You are qualified. So it was a huge help.
Okay. What is it that you are looking to do?
I really would like to work for the government, whether it be city, state, federal, doing more of the same admin type work that I did while I was in the military.
Okay. So good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a plan, or do you feel like you're on the road now that you've connected with Eastern Indiana Works and here at this
Yes,
job
I
fair?
have connected with people. I'm very early in my journey to switch gears and careers, but I definitely feel like you guys have been a huge help in getting me pointed in the right direction. So I definitely have a plan of action going, and then Brian and I are going to meet up soon and kind of really hammer out the details.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Eastern Indiana Works. We have a chance to speak with Dennis Wimer. Dennis, how are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody what your title is? Let's start there.
So I'm the director of the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs.
Nice title.
Yep.
What do you all do?
Great. Well, so when everybody hears about Veterans Affairs, they think about the hospital, they think about
Sure.
federal veterans benefits. Well, the Indiana Department oversees all of the state benefits and state activities for veterans that occur. And so we work as a governor's staff, and we operate multiple things across the state. And a couple of those are the larger activities. We oversee the Indiana Veterans Home. So that's up in West Lafayette. It has about 300 beds for veterans who are retired and who are in elder age and need help to live. And it's a great place. I was talking with one of the staff the other day, and she said the only place she'll let her mother go is to the Veterans Home because of the service they provide. What a great recommendation when you want your own parents to go there because of the service.
Yes.
We also have a cemetery in southern Indiana that we oversee that is a veterans-only cemetery in Madison, Indiana. So those are a couple of the activities that are physical locations. Then we oversee all of the benefits that the state legislature has said, these are the benefits we want to give to the veterans in Indiana. And so some of those are things like tuition and fee remission for students of that are children of veterans who are meet certain requirements. They have to have a disability rating, the veteran does. They have to be in Indiana for so long resident, and so there's some others. They have to serve during wartime. But that benefit could be 100% off of a state Indiana state school for their college tuition. And that's a program we want every veteran to know about and to come to our website. We've got a little questionnaire on there that they can walk through, and we can help them do that. Other benefits, you see a couple of them every day. Whenever you're driving around and you see the license plates that have U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, or disabled plates, we administer that program in partnership with the BMV. And so we oversee those, and we make sure that that is a veteran, that is a disabled veteran, so that the right people get the license plates. Additionally, we oversee a really important program called the Military Family Relief Fund. And that program is for veterans who are in need. If they are, they're below a certain income level, their military service has caused something that causes them to be in need, financial need at this point. And we're there to help offer them some funds to, if they, again, there's always requirements for these. It's not for everybody. Right. But if they meet the requirements, then we're there to offer them funds to help them with things like their rent, help them to get their car going again, other kind of, some education, other kind of bills, and that's up to a maximum of $2,500. So we manage quite a few different things across the state for our veterans.
What is the approximate veterans population in Indiana?
Yeah, so there are about 405,000 veterans in Indiana. About half of them are, it's kind of almost an even split. a little bit above, a little bit below, but that are of working age, so that are in the economy working. So when you hear a 400,000 number, about 45 to 50% of those are outside the working age. And so we have about 205, 200 or so thousand that are in the working age population right now.
When you look at the younger veterans that are trying to find jobs, how do you all connect them with some of the services like what Eastern Indiana Works provides, so that they can get the skills, the training, or the skill up to be able to get some of the jobs that are available now and use their military skills to their advantage?
Right. So we have a great partnership with the Department of Workforce Development, so much so that we have a couple of their staff in our office that help coordinate when someone comes in. A good example is the Military Family Relief Fund. Sometimes, the need for money is a symptom of a problem. Sometimes they need to be employed. And so we'll connect them directly with Workforce Development, which is a core partner with Eastern Indiana Works. And so we connect them with those veteran staff, and that person that says, oh, okay, where do you need to be connected to? And we connect them. We then also connect them with another important component, which is the county veteran service officers. Every county is mandated to have a county veteran service officer. And I know there are a couple here in this county, and we're thrilled to have them here. They serve an amazingly important job. They kind of cover the broad range of benefits, and they understand the things that are available in that community for them, from a workforce standpoint, from a health benefits, from a federal benefits, from a state benefits. And so that county veteran service officer, if I can have one thing, if someone's listening, they don't know, or watching, they don't know there's a county veteran service officer,
sure,
get into their county office and go meet that person, because they're there to help, and that's what they do all day long. And so we work to connect those dots.
Is that the best place for the veteran to get that information, as local as they can?
It's a great start, because why travel to Indianapolis or why call downtown Indy when you have representatives right here in this community that are fantastic individuals and can really help. If you need something in Indianapolis, then they'll help connect the dots. And so that county veteran service officer is that wonderful first contact. There's one in every county across the state, so you've got somebody there that can help.
All right. Dennis, we appreciate the time today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
We continue at the Resource Fair, and we've got Jessica Burton from Reid Health here. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Is this your first time at this particular event?
It is.
Talk a little bit about what you have seen from the people that you've had coming through.
Well, there was a large turnout today, and a lot of friendly faces. We have a lot of positions that a lot of these veterans do qualify for. Some of them we have offered different programs here at Reid Health, a lot of them. But it was nice to get out and see a great turnout and a lot of friendly faces that are our way of giving back to
your connection to this is that you all work with Eastern Indiana Works to help. What is the relationship between you all and Eastern Indiana Works as far as some of their programs to help connect you with potential employees?
We work really closely trying to help employees find all types of different type of employment, whether what their background situations, just trying to find that perfect fit. Within our organization. As
you've talked to some of the veterans today, and generally this was probably an older group of veterans, and I asked, did that make it a little bit more difficult for you? And you said no, you all have some openings that you're trying to fill, wide range of ages that you're looking for. Absolutely.
We have carrier positions, we have volunteer services, we have all different services that a lot of our vets can qualify for. We're open to all types of.
And was it helpful that they were actually a wide range, because they were bringing in veterans? We spoke to someone from Delaware County. Obviously, you all are down in Fayette County, as well as here in Richmond. You're up in Winchester, so you all have a wide footprint that you're trying to find people from.
Absolutely. We are as far as Greenville, Ohio, Newcastle, Indiana. We have Brookville and Winchester too as well.
Okay. And Eastern Indiana Works covers a 9-county area, so they help you all with almost all of those areas that you're in.
Absolutely.
Thank you for spending some time with us today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Amalia Stanley is with me. Am I close?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're right.
Thank you very much for taking a few minutes with us. First of all, you were in the service. What branch of the service and what did you do?
Well, I was in the Army from 74 to 77, and I was a unit clerk, 75 Bravo, and I took care of everybody's mail and problems with their pay or anything that family crisis they would come to. I was mainly like the manager in our unit.
Okay, thank you for serving. We were talking before we started the conversation here, and you said you connected first with Eastern Indiana Works a few years ago. Tell us a little bit about that. You were trying to get a certificate or make a transition?
Yes, I was in a transition between jobs. So I went to see Brian Rhea from Work One again, and he had just gotten a flyer that said that I could go to school if I wanted to for a year. And I said, sure. So I went to Ivy Tech, and the lady there punched in some names and numbers, and she said, hey, you can go to school. So I did for a year, and I got my technical certificate in business administration.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you were also saying that you've just retired, kinda, sorta.
Yes. I was a truck driver I call it transportation. Sounds better, I guess, sometimes. And for 25 years. And the Army paid for my schooling also to get my CDL. And it was like a 3-month schooling that I took, and I learned a lot of stuff from there, and the VA paid for my schooling too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're in another transition. You reconnected with Brian. It worked so well the first time. Eastern Indiana Works
Yes.
is back. So you're here at this job fair. What are you maybe hoping to find?
Well, I'm here with my husband too, because he's in transition too. He had to retire because he had cancer. So he's ready to go back to work, or try to. So he's looking through for some jobs too, and I might look for a part-time job maybe. So that's why I'm here again with Brian.
Are you finding some good employers here that have openings?
Yes, I've checked everybody out, and I'm still checking everybody out. So yeah, I'm real happy with the turnout here too.
Amalia,
Yes.
thank you very much for your time. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. We're talking with Becky Reynolds from Dot Foods. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
And your title is?
I'm the transportation manager at DOT.
What does that actually mean?
That means I work with hiring drivers, recruiting drivers, working day to day with the drivers on the fleet.
Okay. Now, it's been a couple of years, almost continuously it seems, that DOT is looking for drivers. Is that still the case?
Yes, we're a growing company, so we are looking to grow our fleet.
Okay. How has that need and the resources that Eastern Indiana Works has helped you out?
It's great because they've been able to help us find funding to help our applicants pay for school, pay for CDL school, and they join us with our Earn to Learn program, where we pay the students $500 a week while they go to school. Work One and Indiana Resources have been able to help fund that, so then the drivers is not out of pocket for their CDL school.
Oh, nice. And you're paying them as they're even learning beyond that, I think, aren't you?
Yes, then they go into our training program for $750 a week. So in about 14 to 16 weeks, with the help of Eastern Indiana Works and Work One, we're able to help them become a professional DOT driver.
What is, at this moment, the barrier to you all being able to keep the number of drivers that you need? Is it just that you're growing so fast, or is it just something about the industry that is keeping people?
We're growing fast. Baby boomers are retiring in the industry, and the new generation is, having a hard time with being away from home, because our drivers are away from home on a weekly basis, and we have a lot of dedicated schedules where they can be home. We work 4 days and they're home 4 days, or they work 4 days and they're home 3 days. So we have adapted to the lifestyle that our drivers have asked us to guarantee they get home time, they have a great income, great benefits. there's a lot of perks to work at DOT.
What is the average starting wage that a driver could expect? I know people are looking for, they want to say, a good paying job. I
Right.
think being a truck driver is considered a good paying job.
It's awesome. Last year, our average driver across all pay types made over $75,000.
Okay. If somebody is interested in connecting with you, obviously they can probably connect with you through Eastern Indiana Works, but if they need to do it directly to you, is that possible?
Yes, they can. They can give us a call at our office at 765-312-0100.
Okay. Someone else who's been able to make some connections between employers and employees using Eastern Indiana Works. Becky, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Eastern Indiana Works. We've changed the person in the seat. David, how are you?
I'm good, sir. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank
Good.
you. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself. Name and title.
Well, my name is David Douglas, and I'm the Indiana Department of Workforce Development State Veteran Program Director.
Okay, let's start with, what exactly do you do?
I manage the Jobs for Veterans State Grant and the staff who are employed underneath of the grant. So we are all state employees with the Indiana Department of Workforce Development, but I have two different positions that we employ. One is a local veteran employment representative. They advocate on behalf of veterans to the employers. So they go out to employers, they tell the employer what skill sets the veterans have and what kind of jobs they're looking for. So they really try to convince the employer to hire the veteran.
Okay.
The other one is the Disabled Veteran Outreach Program Specialist. Their job is a little more intense, so they're working with veterans who have a significant barrier to employment.
When you say a significant barrier to employment, give us an idea of what specifically you're talking about.
So one of the barriers could be someone who's homeless. It's really difficult to go look for a job if you're homeless, so we try to help them overcome being homeless. Or it could be a veteran who had a criminal history or a criminal background, and some employers are, they're reluctant in hiring someone with a background.
Sure.
So here's a veteran with a criminal background, we help them overcome it or find an employer who's willing to work with the veteran.
When you are talking about the first position, the local who talks to employers and works on their behalf with them, what specifically do they do when they go into a business to connect the employer with potential employees?
The first thing they do is obviously try to help the employer. The employer's got a need to fill a position. So we try to find out what the position is, what it entails, what skill set the employer's looking for. So the local veteran employment representative goes through their bank of veterans who may be looking for employment, and they try to find the right veteran with the right skill set to make a good match for the employer. And if they don't, we work with, like Eastern Indiana Works, we work with them to help the veteran get the skill set they need or the education or the training they need in order to be a benefit to the employer.
Where does a resource fair like what's being held today fall into that chain?
This is absolutely one of the best things any organization or community could do, because you're tying in the veterans who are in the community coming to visit, but they're visiting employers who are here that actually want to hire veterans. Plus there are resources here that help that veteran overcome some of the barriers. They may need a haircut. There's an organization here giving haircuts today. So if the employer is looking for a veteran who may need some education or an educational on top of what they have.
Right.
There's educational opportunities here being offered to the veterans. So this kind of resource event actually helps that veteran get connected with the community to become employed.
As you look at the veterans around the state, are there certain barriers that more veterans in Indiana seem to have that you're having to work through?
I really think because of our low unemployment rate, not only is it the national unemployment rate that we're lower, our veteran unemployment rate in the state of Indiana is lower than the state's unemployment rate.
Okay.
So we have fewer veterans looking for work, but the few that are looking for work are the ones with the more significant barriers to employment. They may have several that are falling in line where it could be anywhere from their disability. Maybe they have a disability and they're not able to do the job they used to do, so now they're looking for employment doing just something totally
else.
different, a new career. But overall, Indiana is, in comparison to the rest of the states, with the type of barriers that veterans have.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate you being here, making the connection with Eastern Indiana Works and helping our veterans get and stay employed.
Yes, sir. It's absolutely an honor and a pleasure, but the partnership with I got to say this, the partnership with Eastern Indiana Works has been phenomenal. They've allowed Jobs for Veterans state grant staff to think outside the box, be innovative, put on events like this, and everybody becomes a partner together to take care of the veterans, and that's what it's all about for us.
David, thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
your
sir.
time and
Very
what
much.
you do.
Thank you, sir.
Once again, my thanks to everyone who took some time to speak with us today. Our thanks to Eastern Indiana Works for all that they do for our veterans and helping them transition into new jobs or new skills or whatever it takes for them to be successful, because we appreciate all that our veterans have done for us. If you're an employer looking for an employee, or if you're an employee looking to skill up or find a new profession, reach out to the folks at Eastern Indiana Works. Very easy to find, easternindianaworks.org. We'll continue talking about JAG and other programs that Eastern Indiana Works does as they continue developing tomorrow's workforce today. Thanks for watching.